Welcome. This reading is on Lutwidge and the Moonfly. Lutwidge and the Moonfly. 'Twas drusky, and the inky lum did gurgle and gangle by the bridge. The pulvonic horror at last had come to face young Errol's Lutwidge. To draw the creature toward you, drag out your blade so sharp and bright, smeared with the sweet thick blood of you, while you kneel, bathed in moonlight. Donned in armor of spike and barb, he pondered the beast while he waked. Was it he that caused such stupor, of bloodlust it could not sate? Swiftly broken from reverie by a distant disgusting cry, above a shadow loomed eerily, eyes of a deep red dye. The beast of moon and wing did swoop. Brave Lutwidge stood his ground. He swung with both his arms in loop. Its head came tumbling down. So now you know why all the folk on both sides of the river Lum lost lots of sheep and lots of sleep and lived in fierce freedom. 'Twas dusky, and the inky lum did gurgle and gargle by the bridge, the pulvonic horror undone by bold brave Arl's Lutwidge. And with that, we've come to the end of Lutwidge and the Moonfly. Now, real quick, two in real life comparative works I could compare this to are the Canterbury Tales, just because it had that sort of flow to it, and also the Jabberwocky due to some of the language used in this work. As for the lore itself, it seems to be about some sort of creature in the Lumbridge area that's responsible for stealing sheep. In fact, the word "ewe" in there is spelled E-W-E. I actually had to look up the pronunciation of that. That is a sheep. It's a female sheep, actually, and whatever it was the book is referring to was bathed in the blood of ewe, or in the blood of sheep. So it seems like it's some sort of beast of sorts, as opposed to a demonic force or a dragon or etc. What other things are in the game. Some sort of wolf-like creature. I don't think it relates to the two penguins that are in the sheep pen, though, that are disguised as sheep. I think this is relating to something else, maybe something that Fred the Farmer was talking about when you do the sheep shearer quest. So maybe there'll be a sheep shearer part 2 in the future, where you find out what creature's going around eating all the livestock. Because I don't think it's the penguins. The penguins are just there to spy on humanity. So I always thought that the thing that Fred the Farmer was talking about was penguins, because that's the only thing you see in the sheep pen. So I guess the climax of the audiobook series ends here, as this is the last book in the lore. Kind of a sneak peek to Sheep Shearer 2, that's how I'd take this. I think Sheep Shearer 2 would be an interesting sort of quest. I like that sort of concept of making a really difficult sort of Grandmaster quest based on a very easy novice type quest, sort of like how Recipe for Disaster is the sequel to Cook's Assistant, and Cook's Assistant is basically the easiest quest in the game. Well, what's the next easiest quest? Obviously Sheep Shearer. So having a Grandmaster quest following that, or maybe not necessarily a Grandmaster quest, just an extremely difficult one, or an extremely hard one, maybe one with a difficult boss, could be an interesting route that JJX could take on that. As for other lore in this quest. There's not too much to go into. I might redo this one later because I don't really feel that I got the rhythm of the poem down all that great. Let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe we could have a competition with this one, see who can do the best reading of this poem, and I'll shout out your YouTube channel or whatever, give you props for it, because I don't think I have the right voice for this sort of poem. I mean, I like doing the other audiobooks, but poetry is kind of a different style, and I've been in audiobook mode all day, so switching to a poem I felt was kind of awkward, but yeah, that's why I want to open that up to the community. Who can do the best reading of Lutwidge and the Moonfly? And as another idea, I think we should all petition on the Reddit to see if we can get Mod Ash to do a reading of this. I would love to hear the actual author do a reading of this poem because he's the one that really knows what it should sound like. I mean, I'm just some player reading it, and I'm not an expert poetry reader. I don't know what type of poem this is. There's probably supposed to be some sort of sync to it, some sort of beat, and I couldn't pick up on that because I'm not an experienced poetry reader. In fact, I did this audiobook series kind of just for fun, and there's not very much poetry within the series, so I'm not even in the right rhythm at all for reading poetry. So yeah, let's petition, get Mod Ash rather. Ash is the one that wrote these, 90% sure on that. Let's petition to get Mod Ash to read Lutwidge and the Moonfly. I'd love to hear it from his voice and how he sets the pace for it. I think that'd be really awesome. Yeah, let's do it. Peace, guys. See you with some more Iron Man progress in the future. No more audiobooks until some more are brought into the game. Peace.